Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. I have not done any of my Attainable Collection of Envy 100 videos in months, maybe? I'm not sure when the last one I did was, but I am here. I'm back. We're going to get us down to the top 25. So I'm only doing 4 today because I've done down 100 through 30. Now I'm going to do 29 through 26, which will leave us with the top 25. Hope to get back in a routine coming up. I'm out next week. I'm on vacation with my family, well, with my wife and youngest, and I'll be out of state. And I'll be getting out a video on Monday. I'm leaving Monday morning early. I'll still put out a video on Monday, an interview I'm doing, a really exciting interview, one that I've been talking about for a long time. And then I don't know if I'll have other videos next week, honestly. We'll see. It's not a priority for me. I will be happy to just take the week off. So, Attainable Collection, meaning that these are cards that I could see myself getting at some point. Some of them are really easy. I already have 38 of these cards out of the 100. These are the cards that, for me, are, there may be 10 to 15 of them that are going to be really, really tough for me to get because I've set a limit of $5,000. I've never spent more than $1,100 on a card, but some of these might cost nearly $5,000. So they're going to take me years to save up for and get the opportunity to buy. But I wanted to stretch it a little bit. If I had set it at $1,000, I could have done 100 cards too, but it would have been missing some cards that I think over time I can get to. I think. We'll see. Number 29 on my list is the 1961 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain. It is Wilt's rookie card. Now you might remember last year, one of them was found in a grocery store that had been hidden in the back of the grocery store in a box since the 1960s, and it graded an SGC 10. And then the buyer of that, somebody that I'm friendly with, crossed it over to PSA. He initially told me that it wasn't a priority for him to cross it over. Then 5 weeks later, it had been crossed over, and I was like, "What happened?" And he said, "Yeah, just the value, the normal things you would expect from somebody who had spent that much money on the I don't remember what the amount went for. I'll put it up here on screen. It was a lot, as you can imagine, and he crossed it over to a PSA 10. One of 4 PSA 10s in the population. I believe it was the only SGC 10, but he also found at least one of the old PSA 10s. There are 3 of them, and they're all from like the late 90s, early 2000s. The one that he found, or maybe he found 2 of them, they would not qualify as 10s anymore. One of them was way off center, horribly off center. So, yeah, this one's probably the best. I think PSA even said this was the best one, or Peter Steinberg maybe said it was. I don't remember. It's been, I don't know, 9 months maybe since that happened. So anyway, Wilt Chamberlain, one of the all-time greats, 100-point game, which is still the record, may stand forever, although there's no video of that game. 7-time scoring champ. He averaged 38 points, 27 rebounds 2 times. For a season, he averaged that. He averaged 50 points and 26 rebounds in another season, 45 and 24 in another season, 37 and 22. For his career, he averaged 30 points, 23 rebounds, which is pretty good. I mentioned 7-time scoring champ. 6 of those seasons were his first 6 seasons in the league. Just steps into the league and dominates. He was a little bit unusual in that he was so tall, 7 foot something, and also very gifted offensively. Bill Russell was very, very tall, very gifted defensively, but wasn't as great, wasn't as gifted offensively as Wilt Chamberlain was. Bill Russell was a better teammate, better leader, had 11 championships compared to Wilt's 2. I think it's 2, right? Yeah, 2 titles, 4 MVPs for Wilt, 11-time rebound champion. Now, here's something that a lot of the old heads can appreciate. Wilt averaged 48.5 minutes per game for the 1961-62 season. 48.5 minutes, that's longer than your average game. But he averaged 48.5 thanks to overtimes. He averaged 46 minutes per game for his career. Guys, unless you're on the Knicks, you're not even getting to 40. Little dig at tonight's Celtics opponent, the Knicks. So in the PSA population, and I say this every time and I always still get questions, why do you only cite the PSA population? I could use Universal Pop Report or whatever that's called, but I don't. PSAs is just so simple. I can get everything I need right in PSA's Pop Report. 2,000 of this card have been graded. There are 410s, like I mentioned already. A PSA 1 goes for $1,400. So that's a big one. That's more by almost 30% than I've ever spent on a card before. That's a PSA 1. PSA 5 goes for about $4,000. I'm hoping to find a collection somewhere, just like sitting out in the open. Like I'll go up into my attic and boom, there's a vintage collection with all the grails, and I'll just get them graded and keep them all. Wouldn't that be fun? As always, this video is sponsored by The Penny Sleever, the best products for supplies out there, bar none. I keep hearing it from my viewers, from reviewers on their website. The best. I've been using their sleeves, their top loaders. Their graded card sleeves, by the way, are spectacular, especially for PSA slabs. Strong recommend. You can get 10% off your first order using my code. New code is JWH2025. Go check them out on their website. The link is in the description of this video. Next up is number 28, 1952 Topps Willie Mays. Now, why didn't I use the 1951 Bowman Mays? I was torn, quite honestly. I asked John Keating, a man that I respect tremendously. His knowledge of vintage is second to none. I asked him this, I don't know, 18 months ago when I first started this list, like, would you choose the 51 Bowman or the 52 Topps? And he said he always goes with Topps, defaults to Topps. So I defaulted to Topps here. 1952 Topps, Willie Mays. 24-time All-Star. Willie Mays 24 times ties him for second most on the list, on the all-time list for MLB. 4-time home run champ, 2-time MVP, 12 gold gloves. Not only that, Joe Posnanski in his Baseball 100, which I have a signed copy of, picked him as the #1 player of all time. Of course, Shohei wasn't in there. Shohei may end up, it's controversial. I'm going to get so many hate comments. How can you say Shohei is better than Willie Mays? I'm not. All I'm saying is he may end up being there. I think Shohei will be a top 5 all-time player by the time he retires. I know. Go ahead. Throw the hate at me. Dan of Dan's Vintage Baseball PC is ruminating on an insult that he's going to throw in comments any second. I can feel it. Speaking of Dan, by the way, Greg, my friend Greg of Midlife Sports Cards, I just have, this is completely unrelated, I was just thinking about it. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, he and Darren of Return to Collecting had Mike Moynihan on, and Mike threw that bombshell out that SGC was going to shut down in the next 18 months or so. And Greg continues to put out videos on it. It's still popular, and you would think, how can you get new material out of this? And Greg continues to. And I watched his latest video, well, I haven't watched today's, Wednesday's yet, but the video I think he put out yesterday or Monday, I watched this morning, and he made so many good points in there that I had never thought of, and I was like, man, this is a brilliant point. I'm going to encourage you to go watch it. He's the most thought-provoking person on YouTube as it pertains to sports cards. Sorry for the tangent there. Back to Willie Mays, the John Keating of baseball, by the way. I don't know what that means. Willie Mays, third all-time in offensive war. In war for positional players, is what I mean to say, behind Barry Bonds and Babe Ruth. So some of you would say, well, that means he's second because Bonds doesn't count. A PSA 1 of the 1952 Topps Willie Mays card is going to set you back about $1,500. A 3 goes for about $5,000. These ones are tough. They're tough. They're about 2,500 in the PSA population. It's one I'm dying to have. This one's a much more affordable card. I actually have one of them. Number 27 is the 2000 Bowman. Tom Brady. I would love to have the chrome. My preference would be chrome. Actually, my preference would be chrome refractor. But the chrome refractor is going to set you back $10,000 at a minimum, $20,000 to $30,000 at least for a mid to high grade copy. But the Tom Brady Bowman, this one cost me $430. 6 months ago, maybe? I don't remember how long ago I bought it. And this is a 5. It's a beautiful 5. It is a spectacular looking 5. Like, you would have to really examine it. I didn't. That's another thing, guys. I've decided now, I don't closely examine my cards anymore to find out what's wrong with them. If I can't see it, somebody talked about the length of my arm test. If I can't see it from the length of my arm, then I don't want to know. And I think that's perfect. I see a lot of people, and this is fine, this is not criticism, trust me. A lot of people want to see it, and they scan over it. Why did this get a 5 instead of an 8 or a 9? I don't want to. I just want to buy the card, have it be a 5 in my budget, and then enjoy it. This looks like a 10 to me. It's perfect. Tom Brady, you know about Tom Brady. 7 Super Bowls in 10 times at the Super Bowl. The most dominant quarterback of all time. One of the most dominant athletes of all time. He was on my Patriots. He is the winningest quarterback, one of the winningest athletes of all time. No, I'm not saying he is the winningest because it's probably Bill Russell. And I didn't give that any thought, so don't argue with me in comments, please. PSA 5, as I said, $430. A 9 is going to set you back about $5,000. Chrome in a 7 you can get for $700. I think that's what my handwriting says. Don't quote me on that. There are 8,000 of them. Chrome, they're about 5,500. Next up, this is the 1954 Topps Ernie Banks. This came to me via TJ is Online. My friend Tony sold this to me. Just beautiful 2.5. I think I paid $650 for it. It is a great looking card, and I appreciate Tony for that. You know, at arm's length, this looks like a 4 or a 5 to me. Ernie Banks. Let's play 2. Mr. Cub. 2-time MVP, 14-time All-Star. Actually, for 6 seasons, 1955 to 1960, one of the most dominant stretches. He averaged 8 WAR for those 6 seasons, 8 WAR per year. So he had 48 WAR. Just in those 6 seasons, 248 home runs in 6 seasons. That's 41 home runs per season that a shortstop averaged in the 1950s. 693 RBIs, so he's averaging 110, 115 RBIs per season. He had 148 OPS plus, so he's 48% better offensively than the average player. That's insanely good. You can get this pretty cheap. You can get a 1 or a 2 for under $500, or you can get a nice 2.5 for $650 like I did. That's it for today. That's only 4, and it took me like 14 minutes to get through. I hope to be back tomorrow, but I'm going to the office for work more and more, which slows down my ability to make videos. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you have a great day.